Max Walker is about to learn that messing with time has dangerous consequences, and now he's fighting not just for the future, but for his own life. Today, I'll recap a 1994 sci-fi action film, Time Cop. So keep your eyes wide open and stay safe. The movie starts in 1863, where Confederate soldiers are transporting a large trunk filled with gold bullion, meant to be a payday for their army. Out of nowhere, they're surrounded and shot at by a mysterious highwayman using strange, futuristic automatic pistols and high-tech gear. The soldiers are left stranded and dead, with no chance to escape. The mysterious highwayman steals the gold, and just as quickly as he appeared, vaporizes into a strange, gelatin-like mist, disappearing without a trace. In 1994, 131 years later, in Washington, D.C., the U.S. government forms the Time Enforcement Commission, TEC. The TEC's job is to stop people from misusing newly developed time travel technology. They've learned that the same gold bullion that was stolen in 1863 is now being used to buy weapons in the present. The tech's main mission is to find and stop time ripples, changes in history, before they reach the present. Since people can't travel forward in time, they always go back in time to either mess with history or steal treasures. Fun fact, the mysterious highwayman who stole the gold in 1863 and killed the soldiers is never seen again or identified. Senator Aaron McComb volunteers to help fund and manage the commission. Meanwhile, police officer Max Walker is offered a job as a TEC agent. He meets his wife Melissa at a shopping mall where he stops a thief from stealing a purse. As they leave, Max notices 3 strange-looking punk men following them, even though he's never seen them before. After a tense moment, Max and Melissa go back to their big fancy house. Later that evening, they spend time together, growing even closer. Later that night, Max is attacked in his own home by the same intruders he saw earlier at the mall. Things get worse when an explosion goes off, killing Melissa and completely destroying their house. Max is left shocked and heartbroken, with everything he loved gone in an instant. 10 years later, in 2004, Walker is now a skilled TEC agent. He is sent back in time to October 1929, right during the Wall Street crash, to arrest his old partner Atwood for taking advantage of the stock market disaster. After dealing with Atwood's bodyguards, Walker questions him. Atwood admits that he's working for Senator McComb, who needs money for his presidential campaign. Terrified by McComb's threats to send hitmen back in time to kill his ancestors, Atwood tries to end his life by jumping out of a window. Max catches him before he falls and brings him back to 2004, but Atwood refuses to testify against McComb. The tech sends Atwood back to 1929, right where he left off. Unfortunately, this time he falls to his death. Senator McComb shows up at the TEC agency to oversee the work and congratulate Walker on his successful mission. Walker, however, hints to McComb that he knows all about his dirty secrets and how he's been getting money for his campaign behind the scenes in Washington. McComb, clearly upset, leaves the facility and orders his aide to have Walker killed. The next morning, 2 hitmen break into Walker's small apartment and try to kill him. But Walker, being a trained martial artist, fights back fiercely. After a long and brutal fight, he defeats and kills both assassins. While Walker is still trying to investigate McComb and expose his corruption, he is partnered with Agent Sarah Fielding and sent back to 1994. Their mission is to look into a possible time ripple. They find a young McComb arguing with his business partner Jack Parker about a new computer chip. Parker tries to buy McComb's share of the company, but then something unexpected happens. The older McComb arrives from 2004 to warn his younger self that the chip will bring in huge profits. A fight breaks out when Walker is double-crossed by Fielding, who reveals she's working for McComb. In the chaos, McComb kills Parker, wounds Fielding, and tries to kill Walker before escaping back to 2004. When Walker returns to 2004, he quickly realizes that things have gotten much worse. McComb now owns the computer company, and there's no record of Parker ever existing. With all his money and high approval ratings, McComb is almost guaranteed to win the presidency. To make matters worse, the tech is being shut down because of budget cuts, and Fielding seems to have disappeared as well. Knowing he has to fix everything, Walker decides to hijack the original prototype time machine, the one McComb had been using for his illegal time trips. With the help of Commander Matuzak, Walker manages to escape, but Matuzak sacrifices himself when McComb's men try to stop them. Back in 1994, Walker finds Fielding in the hospital, and she agrees to testify against McComb. While looking for Fielding's DNA in a blood sample at the lab, Walker unexpectedly finds a sample of Melissa's blood, and it shows that she was pregnant. Walker realizes that Melissa's death happened later that night, and he decides he must stop it from happening. When he goes back to Fielding's room, he discovers that she has been murdered, and to his shock, he's framed as the prime suspect. Max Walker heads to the mall where he and Melissa met that night. After searching for a while, he finally finds her and manages to convince her that he's from the future. While there, he spots the 3 thugs who attacked him earlier, and he realizes that they are actually McComb's men, sent back in time to kill him before he could join the tech. That evening, McComb's thugs break into Walker's home again, just like before. But this time the older Walker is waiting for them. Without his younger self knowing, the older Walker secretly helps fight off the bad guys. Together they and Melissa manage to win, but the younger Walker is wounded in the process. Then, the 2004 McComb takes Melissa hostage. When the older Walker finds out, McComb sets off a time bomb and shoots Melissa. Just as things look hopeless, the younger McComb arrives, tricked into coming by a fake message from Walker. In a quick move, Walker grabs the younger McComb and pushes him into the older version. The 2 McCombs become a twisting, screaming mass and melt into nothing because, according to the time theory, 2 versions of the same person cannot exist by touching each other. Walker carries the wounded Melissa out of the house just before the bomb explodes, destroying everything just like before. He carefully lays Melissa, still unconscious, next to his younger self and quickly leaves the scene before the local police and fire department arrive. Walker then returns to 2004, and he finds that the timeline has been fixed. The tech still exists, and both Fielding and Matuzak are alive. McComb vanished 10 years earlier and no longer exists. As Walker gets home, he is happily shocked to find that his house has been rebuilt and everything is back to normal. To his surprise, Melissa is alive, and their 9-year-old son is there to greet him. As Walker walks into the house, ready for dinner, Melissa has something important to announce, hinting that she might be pregnant again. So, which awesome movie should we recap next? Drop your suggestions in the comments below, and let's make it happen. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you never miss out on our movie recaps. We've got plenty more coming your way. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Produced by Warner Movie Recaps 2.